Okay. Welcome to turning ready, aim, aim into ready, aim, fire. 3 simple steps for overcoming the ready, aim, aim, aim syndrome. We all know that setting goals for anything you want to achieve is critical to personal success. And we know it's equally important to have a plan that outlines how you intend to achieve your goals. But all that goal setting and planning won't amount to much if you're unwilling or unable to take the first step, keep going, or finish. Do you focus on the reasons why you shouldn't start? Do you find yourself actually creating obstacles to your success? Are you puzzled by your inability to commit to the task at hand? Are you overwhelmed when there are a lot of tasks at hand and you can't figure out how to eat the elephant one bite at a time? Take a look at the quote on this slide. It's at the heart of what I'll be sharing with you today. It takes a lot of energy to want to do something and never do it. Most of us fall victim to what T. Boone Pickens called the ready, aim, aim, aim syndrome. We're more than willing to think about the goal and talk about it, but loath to pull the trigger and take action. Now, make no mistake, we live in a just do it culture. Since Nike first rolled out the slogan in 1988, it's taken on a life of its own. It's simply amazing to see how these 3 little words have inspired people not just to better themselves in sports, but to better all aspects of their lives. From starting over to moving on, from fixing a broken window to fixing a broken relationship. Just do it is first and foremost a call to action. And if that weren't enough pressure, there are 3 underlying and, to my mind, very beguiling assumptions to this just do everything philosophy. You're expected to do it. You have no excuse for not doing it. You're motivated to do it. But how do we reconcile our lack of motivation, our inability to get started or keep going with the pressure we put on ourselves and others to just do it? Well, let's take a look. T. Boone Pickens coined the phrase ready, aim, 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 and described it in terms of willingness to take action. Be willing to make decisions. You must be willing to fire. Now, generally, there's 3 components to this syndrome. Looking at the slide, do any of these sound familiar? Thinking and talking about something, but not taking action. The busyness of thinking and talking might feel like you're taking action, but nothing is moving you forward towards your ultimate goal. Number 2, trying to evaluate every possible course of action, but unable to make a decision. There's nothing wrong with thinking about possible outcomes, but there's a point where overthinking becomes counterproductive. And number 3, unable to turn good intentions into positive action. You have every intention of getting started or finishing, but something is stopping you. So, how do we overcome it? The good news is you can in just 3 simple steps. Number 1, you begin identifying what I call your stop signs to success, what keeps you from taking the first step in the first place. Next, you identify everything that will help you keep going and actually finish, which includes your motivations, your value proposition, and your expectations. And then number 3, you're going to align those motivations, the value proposition, and your expectations with the goal in order to remove any stop signs to success and transform your best of intentions into positive action. So let's jump right in and take a closer look at each of the steps, beginning with step number 1, identifying your stop signs to success. Heck's 4th law of procrastination states this: there's no time like the present for postponing what you don't want to do. Most of us have an Achilles heel of our own devising that keeps us from taking that first step towards achieving our goals. For us, then, the proverbial 1,000-mile journey must be one of discovery. And the first step on this journey is paradoxically simple. You must start by exploring what it is that keeps you from getting started. I call these stop signs to success. Now, there's all kinds of reasons why we can't start, we don't keep going, we don't finish. But this slide shows some pretty common ones that I hear all the time. Number one, I don't know how to get started, keep going, or finish. No action plan, no idea of where to even begin. So what do we actually end up doing? Nothing. Now, if you watched my Fix It or Forget About It video, I talked about the importance of not only setting goals, but coming up with a plan for how you intend to achieve the goals. Because a goal without a plan is just a wish. And by the way, you can watch that video for free right here on my YouTube channel. Number two, I can't do it. Now, this is an interesting one because you can approach it in two ways. Are you literally unable to do it? Maybe you aren't healthy enough, or you don't have the money to do it. Or do you find yourself saying, I can't bring myself to do it? It's one thing to be unable to take action. It's quite another to be unwilling to take the first step. There can be many reasons why you're unable or unwilling, but do you know the difference? Number three, if I can't do it right, I don't want to do it at all. This one really resonates with me. For most of my life, I was one of those people who didn't start something until I felt I was totally and completely knowledgeable about the thing I wanted to try. And while it made my resume look good, it didn't do much for my self-esteem. Because I did this out of fear, fear of the consequences of not doing something right or perfectly. Number four, I can't see that far ahead. The thought of a 1,000-mile journey is so daunting that you can't even think about taking the first step. What's worse, you become overwhelmed the longer you wait to take action. So again, paralysis sets in and you don't start at all. For me, learning to play the bagpipes is the trap I fell into on this one. When I was about 46, I once whined to a friend about the fact that if I started learning to play the bagpipes now at 46, which was a dream I'd had for as long as I can remember, I'd be 50 by the time I finally could play really well with any proficiency. Now, that's at least what the professional pipers say. They say expect it'll take at least 3 years before you can do it right. Now, she pointed out to me, you're going to be 50 anyway, McDowell. You might as well get started. That was, I hate to admit this, but it's true, 24 years ago. And I haven't even started taking lessons. Not only did I not get started, I didn't even get into the starting gate. Number five, I don't want to do it, but it really needs to get done. Most of us are not nearly as willing to start on the must-do tasks as we are on the this would really be fun to do tasks. For most of us, there are things we don't want to do, but we absolutely know we have to do them. This could be as simple as finally going to the dentist, or as daunting as going back to school to get a certification or degree you really need to further your career. Number six, I'm expected to do it, but I don't want to. Now, sometimes we are expected to achieve certain things, and the expectations are perfectly reasonable. Don't drink and drive is an expectation designed to keep us safe. Get a job might be an expectation to help us pay our bills. Expectations can be very daunting, especially when it comes to family dynamics. For example, lots of families take turns hosting the holiday dinner. This year, come to my house. Next year, we'll go to yours. But what if you don't want to host the dinner or drive to someone else's house, but your family expects you to do it? Now what? So, looking at this list, do any of these resonate with you? Think about a goal you currently have, but maybe you haven't been able to get started on it. You're not making any progress. You can't finish it. Looking at this list, do you identify with any of these? And more importantly, why? So how do you figure out the why? The best way to begin is by thinking about that goal that you have now, but you're not making any headway on. Visualize what each stop sign looks like for you in terms of that goal. Get in touch with what you're feeling and thinking with regards to this picture in your mind. Keep asking yourself, what's underlying this? Do I lack motivation? Do I set unreasonable expectations that keep me from taking action? Am I putting obstacles in my own way? Keep peeling back that onion to reveal what lies beneath. So, for example, let's look at I can't see that far ahead. When you think about doing something that will take a really long time to finish, like learning how to play the bagpipes perfectly, what comes to mind? Do you get easily discouraged or distracted? Which means it's unlikely you'll be able to keep going or finish. Are you unable to even visualize the outcome? Do you find yourself saying, I doubt I can actually hang in there long enough to finish? What if I lose interest before I finish? What if it turns out to be too hard or too expensive? Again, think about me not learning how to play the pipes. I was overwhelmed by the amount of time they said it would take to become proficient, to get it right. I had held the dream of becoming a piper for so long I couldn't imagine it actually coming true any longer. It truly was, I hate to say it, a pipe dream. I couldn't find the motivation to get started or what the rewards might be if I kept at it. So let's move on to step 2 in our 3-step plan for overcoming the ready, aim, aim, aim syndrome. That is identifying your motivations, your value proposition, and your expectations. This is an essential component of overcoming the ready, aim, aim syndrome. For example, think about how you felt the last time you actually finished a task that's been on your mind, but you'd been putting it off. What motivated you to finish it? What did you expect would come from achieving your goal? Why did you choose that goal in the first place? What made you keep going? Without a clear idea not only of what we're doing, but why we're doing it, we won't have the foundation to keep going in the face of change or challenge. So let's begin by looking at what motivates you. Now, motivation is the drive towards really wanting to reach your goal, to fulfill that dream. And we all have something that drives us, but we're not always conscious of what it is. Various factors influence our motivation. For instance, many people are motivated by rewards and punishment. That's that carrot versus the stick metaphor. If you know you'll get praised or recognized, you might take action that leads to the pleasure of being rewarded. Or you might take an action that prevents you from experiencing a punishment that could cause pain. Whatever it is we think we want to achieve, we first need to tap into what it is within us that triggers that drive to action. So once more, think about a goal you currently have, but you haven't been able to start, make progress towards, or finish. Now ask yourself these questions as they relate to that goal. What energizes me? What matters most to me? What previous or current resources, emotions, or experiences can I draw upon to keep going when I come across one of my stop signs? Remember that this can be anything from feeling secure in your personal or professional life to having more time at home or more freedom to pursue your passions to make a difference in the lives of others. The possibilities are endless. There's lots of sites on the internet that talk about top motivations, the kinds of things that motivate you. Take a look at those if you need help getting started. Okay, so let's move on to the next activity in step 2 of overcoming the ready, aim, aim syndrome, identifying your value propositions. Now, the term value proposition is used in project management, which I did for over 30 years. And it's as important a concept there and here in business and personal transformation. From a business perspective, a value proposition is a short statement that communicates why buyers should choose a company's products or services. It describes the specific solution that the business provides and the promise of value that a customer can expect a company to deliver. It answers the one question that most customers have, so what's in it for me? When working towards any goal, most of us have the same question. We need to know what's the point. So think about the saying, anything worth doing is worth doing well. This is at the heart of your value proposition. And once again, think about that goal you currently have, but you haven't been able to start, make progress towards, or finish. If you had to describe to someone why you think taking action is worth doing, what would you say? What's at stake? Is it your safety or your health? Is it your ego or your self-worth? Is it your future and the opportunities that might be available to you? What will make it worth your while, not only to work towards achieving your goal, but to actually reach it? You can't take action if you can't answer, why am I doing this? The more value you place on achieving the goal, the more likely you are to get started, keep going, and finish. Now, keep in mind that how you determine value can be both tangible, more money, a new career, a new job, and intangible, status, happiness, a greater sense of fulfillment, peace of mind, better relationships. And only you can decide what the overall value might be for you. Now, let's move on to that last activity in step 2 of overcoming the ready, aim, aim syndrome, identifying your expectations. Now, with every goal we set, we have an expectation of a particular outcome when we reach our goal. Everything from losing weight to saving money for a longed-for vacation to getting our teeth fixed. We have a vision in mind of what our lives will look like once we reach the goal. Now, thinking about that one goal that you currently have, what outcome do you expect to achieve when you reach the goal? What does success look like to you? What can you do to set yourself up for success in any area of your life, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually, in whatever way you define success? Now, important caveat to this is number 4 on this slide. You need to make sure that your expectations are reasonable. This is about being honest with yourself, acknowledging what your present circumstances really are, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. Having unreasonable or untenable expectations can kill motivation. For example, maybe your goal is to get a certification that you expect will further your career and help you find a new job easily and quickly. You can reasonably expect that the certification will further your career, but it might be unreasonable to expect that you'll get that dandy new job easily or quickly, which is not to say that you shouldn't try. Just be careful. Remember, your expectations can kill your motivation as quickly as they can drive you to succeed. And so this brings us to our last step in our 3-step plan, transforming our good intentions into positive action. At the heart of the ready, aim, aim syndrome is that we are unable to transform our good intentions into positive action. We have every intention of getting started or finishing, but something keeps stopping us. We know what we want to achieve, but now what? Now, the key to overcoming the ready, aim, aim, aim syndrome begins with understanding what's stopping you, your stop signs to success, what motivates you, how you define worth doing, that's your value proposition, and what expectations you have that will result when you achieve your goals. Now you have all that knowledge. Now you can take all that knowledge and use it to take action at last. And this is how you'll do that. First, you're going to pick one of the stop signs that you identified as keeping you from successfully achieving your goal. Next, you're going to look over the reasons why it's stopping you. 3, look over what you defined as your motivations, your value proposition, your expectation. And then you're going to determine how you can use those motivations, the value proposition, and expectations to overcome the stop sign. So let's look at an example of how you can do that. So maybe your goal was to get that new certification that will allow you to further your career. But you know it could take a really long time to reach this goal. So thinking about that goal, you identified this stop sign. I can't see that far ahead. Thinking about that stop sign, you then realized you had 3 reasons why you can't get started, keep going, or finish. Those are the reasons I get easily distracted and discouraged, so I don't think I'll be able to stay motivated. Next, I'm not sure it'll still be worth my while to keep working on this. Who knows how I'll feel about it in 3 months, let alone a year. Finally, I can't visualize what my life will look like because it's too far down the road. Now, looking at what motivates you, what you value, and what your expectations are, you came up with 3 ways you could use that knowledge to remove that pesky stop sign. 1, I'm motivated by knowing that I'm excelling in an area that requires high levels of skill and specialized knowledge, which is very important to me, that intangible reward. Next, pursuing this new certification will enable me to create a more secure financial and professional future with a higher standard of living. There's that value proposition and the reward that is tangible. And last, I expect to pass the exam to get this certification because I've set aside the time I need to work towards this goal. Notice the expectation here. I expect that I'm going to be able to pass it. What did I have to do that? I set aside the time to do it. And notice that it is a reasonable expectation. There's nothing in here that says a certain amount of time in which you will get the job. So, hopefully, you now have all the information and tools you need to overcome your own ready, aim syndrome. I encourage you to apply what you've learned today to any goal you currently have by following these 3 simple steps on this slide. Pick one you currently have, but you haven't been able to start, make progress towards, or finish. Now, that goal does not have to be elaborate, like winning a Nobel Peace Prize or becoming a millionaire. Remember, your expectations have to be reasonable. A goal can be as simple as cleaning out the basement, moving out, or creating a new habit. Next, take everything you've learned in this video today and apply it to that goal. And then finally, take the first step that gets you closer to achieving the goal. Clean out a corner of the basement rather than the entire basement. Fill out the registration form for that certification program. And when you're able and willing, then send it in. Eat the elephant one bite at a time rather than the whole elephant in one sitting. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you'll be able to apply some of what you've learned today in this video to being able to keep moving towards achieving whatever goal it is that you've chosen for your life. And please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more videos like this. And follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Thanks for watching.